One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Barroom Boys. I'm Johnny Mondo here with Ryan Hodska and Jack Braverman. And yeah, we're three guys who have no business talking sports, but here we are anyway. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up?
Not much. It was your guys' weekend?
It was a weekend.
Yeah. It was long for me, working at the country club, living lavish, grinding.
Yeah.
I did fucking nothing today. It was great.
Yeah, I went to Drive Shack today. Really just dominated the Drive Shack, I don't know, course or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm at my girlfriend's place. So fun.
Played golf with my dad yesterday. Almost shot my best round of the summer. I was 1 under through 17, and I was feeling the nerves on 18.
Oof.
And I hit my drive out of bounds, and I made double, shot 1 over.
That's still
brutal.
Still pay money to shoot 1 over through 18.
Oh no, that's pretty good for the average golfer.
Yeah.
All right, Beep, do you believe that Big Cat shot 72 at Shinnecock?
No, but I do believe that Dave Portnoy has shot under par at multiple U.S. Open venues with unlimited mulligans.
Yeah, with unlimited mulligans.
I mean, he's a hero. What can we say?
Yeah.
I guess let's just hop right into it. Big news today coming out of the NBA world. The winningest basketball player ever, Mr. Bill Russell, has passed away. Rest in peace. He was an absolute legend. 11 chips. Boston Celtics, Mount Rushmore. I mean, just a tough look. Hate to see it.
Easily one of the best and most influential players of all time. As a Celtics fan, truly hurts this one. Bill was a legend, not only for the Celtics, but also for the game of basketball. He did a lot for the community. He was actually presented with a presidential Medal of Freedom in 2011 for how much he's impacted the community. He was not only just a great basketball player, he was the first African-American professional coach in America. So he changed the game that way. Just an absolute legend, and sad to see him go.
Yep. Bill Russell is an absolute winner. No doubt about that. 11 rings, 2 NCAA titles. Just a GOAT in every measure of a man. So he'll be missed dearly. And it's tough to see.
Yeah, rest in peace to one of the greats. But I do have a question for you guys, because it was trending a lot on Twitter today, obviously. But where do you guys rank him all time, especially in terms of big man?
I'd say he's definitely in my top 10. I guess it's a little biased because I'm a Celtics fan, but he is the most winning basketball player of all time. I don't see, not in terms of basketball, but in terms of any sport, I don't see anyone winning 11 rings or 11 championships in American sports ever again.
Hey, we talked about this in episode 1. There is one man who is better than him.
Who?
Joey Chestnut.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, fair enough. But when it comes to, I guess, team sports.
Yeah, Bill Russell is the GOAT. I mean, with 11 rings, if you're not putting him in your top 5, just simply off of championships, that's how you measure a great basketball player, is how much they win. And nobody won like Bill Russell. He needs to be top 5. Yes, there are players that are better than him, more skilled, and as the game have developed, obviously more big men have come in with serious game. But Bill Russell's got to be up there.
Yeah, I would put him around in my list personally. I have him at number 7. But in terms of big man ahead of him, I don't think there is anyone. Maybe Kareem. Yeah, Kareem actually is ahead of him on my list. But I guess people that you can argue in terms of big men that could be potentially better than him, there's Kareem, there's Wilt Chamberlain, there's Hakeem, there's Shaq, but those are like the 5. But still, in terms of just rings alone and how he changed basketball, Bill Russell's got to be up there in terms of better than those guys, but at least top 3 in terms of centers of all time.
No
Like,
doubt.
no questions.
No doubt.
Yeah. Sad day for basketball. Definitely in our top rankings for sure. But
It's not all sad in the basketball world.
this is
Uh,
true.
There are some good things that have been happening.
Lay it on us,
lighter
Beeve.
note- On a lighter note, Jimmy Butler, star player for the Miami Heat, has been seen in public and photographed out and about with dreadlocks. It's a new look for Jimmy, but I kind of like it. I don't know. It gives off like reggae vibes. I feel like he's gonna be making extra good coffee now.
Yeah, it does give off like reggae vibes. It looks like he was like chilling with Bob Marley almost, like listening to Three Little Birds and just vibing.
Smoking some ganja. Well, the NBA doesn't drug test in the offseason, right?
I don't think so,
He's a free man.
but yeah.
Another basketball news. Mr. Isaiah Thomas, forgotten Boston Celtics star, once again balling out in the offseason, once again making his plea for an NBA team to come swoop in and see what that 5'9" man is all about. He dropped 45 points in the Drew League. I don't know how much defense there is in the Drew League,
None.
but he's wet. He's wet from behind the arc. He's got moves. He's still quick. Yeah, what's gonna happen with Isaiah Thomas? Is he done?
I don't think he's done. I think he'll get signed to a roster this year and just kind of be like a veteran kind of locker room guy. Hopefully he'll get some playing time throughout the season. But when he was on the Celtics, I mean, that guy he was a dog. Like,
he was an all-star.
he was
more
very,
than once.
yeah, I looked at him when, again, being a Celtics fan, I thought he was very underrated for the time that he spent in Boston. Like, while the team wasn't that as good as we have been the past years and the years before Isaiah Thomas's time when we had Rondo and the big 3, but he came in and did work. He had some legendary moments in Boston. So I would love to see him.
5'9", averaging close to 30 points a game for 2 solid seasons for the Boston Celtics. I mean,
he was a very good ball handler and pass distributor, but also can score. He had a mean step back, and he's like a person at that time watching that, like, last shot of the game, we're down 1 or 2, like, give the ball to him.
Yeah, no, shout out Isaiah Thomas for always staying game ready.
Yeah, dude was an absolute beast for sure.
But hopefully he'll get 1 or 2 more seasons in. If not, he's going to be like a street ball legend. I can see that.
I can see him going to China.
Yeah.
Going to Europe.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fun for him, experiencing a whole different culture over there, kind of changing the game. He'd be one of the best players in that league for sure. So it'd be cool.
Now that Lance Stevenson is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as IT goes, bro, he definitely deserves a chance on a roster, but he's not going to be a starter. Like, he's definitely going to be a bench player.
Oh yeah, let's be real. He's probably like 35 years old right now.
Yeah. He's someone though that, like, if you drafted a young point guard, like let's say in the draft, or like have a young point guard like Jalen Suggs from the Magic or someone like that you can bring into the locker room and just teach him advice and everything, kind of learn as someone who's been in the league for multiple, like, almost probably when did he come into the league? Like,
I don't know, probably like 2011, 2010.
Yeah, around there.
Early
So
2010s.
He was a stud in college too.
Yeah. So definitely a good locker room guy. Give some advice to the younger guys and get them motivated, teach them the fundamentals of being in the NBA and dealing with all that pressure. So see him being a good fit for people with a lot of young talent on their teams.
Yeah. So let's make a quick pivot over to the MLB real quick. Couple stories. First, let's start with the trade news so far. So with Benintendi going to the Yankees, that officially means the Yankees are out on Juan Soto, which means it's down to the Padres, the Cardinals, and the Dodgers, as the Mets are also out. So that's big news. Sucks. Beeve, I'm upset. I know you're upset. Not ideal. Luis Castillo is now a Mariner. Should have been a Yankee. That was a slight fold by Brian Cashman, but it is what it is. Now they got their sights set on Frankie Montas, who is the A's basically star pitcher this year. It's between us, the Blue Jays, and the Cardinals. We desperately need him. We need more starting pitching. We always do. Our bats are looking great. We just need to be able to solidify it. So those are the big news coming out of the trade side of things. Now on to other baseball stories. So the first thing, the Mariners phenom Julio Rodriguez got hit on the wrist with a pitch yesterday, I believe, and could potentially miss a good amount of time. I believe the x-rays came back negative, but there was retaliation today as Jose Altuve got smoked by a pitch. Yankee fan, so I'm not exactly against it, but I hate to see it for anyone.
Yeah, the Astros once again involved in something bad for the baseball world.
Shocker.
Julio Rodriguez is an absolute baller. He is the future of the MLB. He's so young. I mean, what is 20, 21 years old? Should have won the home run derby if you're going.
He was a beast, bro.
How many home runs you hit in the home run derby total?
Like 70, 80.
Broke a couple records there. But yeah, no, that's just bad news.
Yeah, so tough look for them. Still in the AL West, the Angels. Now let's do a quick little talk about the Angels. They have the two best players on earth in Ohtani and Trout. Trout is out with a rare back illness that he's trying to come back from, but it could stay with him his whole career. So it's
a rare back illness.
Yes, a rare back illness.
What's that illness?
What is it, like disc plates or something in his back or some shit?
I'd have to look it up. Most people say it's from carrying the weight of the Angels franchise for over a decade, but it is actually there is an illness there. Like, I'm not lying about that.
That is pretty rare, carrying the Angels.
Yeah, so and then tough. You flip it over to Ohtani, who has been linked in potential trade deals. Shocking, but it's true. Could end up coming to New York, whether in the Mets or the Yankees. Could go kind of in Central Division. It's really kind of, where he sees fit, how the market plays out, headed up to the trade deadline. But that's kind of what we're looking at right now.
I'm not buying Ohtani leaving the Angels this season. I just don't see a trade of that scale happening in the next 2 days.
I mean, like Juan Soto's getting traded, and I'd put them on the same talent level as far as a bat.
Yeah, but Juan Soto is different because the Nats have already offered him a contract that he declined. Ohtani, we've heard nothing about his situation. We know he's happy hitting dingers and pitching every 5 days in Los Angeles. I think if any move happens, I know he has multiple years left on his contract. I think it's an offseason thing or kind of like a next season trade deadline type thing. I just don't see anything happening this soon, especially with Trout gone. The Angels are on thin ice right now.
They need it. Yeah, they need him. They can't afford to lose him this season. I mean, let's face it, they kind of suck right now, so they're probably not going to make a postseason. But
everyone has their price. Everyone. So
everyone has their price. Yep. There are a lot of buyers out there right now.
Buyer's market.
Yeah. In other news, Mr. Jake DeGrom is coming back on Tuesday. Beef, give me your thoughts right now.
This is huge. His season debut, coming in August, just at the right time. We need DeGrom to just at the right time. We got about 60 games left in the MLB season, so if DeGrom is fresh for the postseason, and if Scherzer continues his run and is solid through the postseason, I don't know a team in baseball that wants to see that 1-2 in a playoff situation. Citi Field was loud the other night in a regular season game against the Yankees. With those stars on the bump, with the Mets the way they're rolling right now, I think that's a serious issue for other teams. So the Mets have been playoff favorites or World Series favorites, I should say, for most of the year. But yeah, they're gaining a new piece. I pray to every Lord there is out there that he stays healthy. He's done this before where he comes back and then he tweaks something and he's out for another 3 weeks. and then he comes back, and then he tweaks something again. They're being very, very careful with him, so we'll see. I mean, he's been gone for a couple months. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to make a run in the playoffs, he's got to stay healthy. That's your number one piece right there.
Oh yeah.
You got any other news out of the MLB world you want to talk about?
No, baseball is baseball.
Yep, dog days of summer. Not necessarily the most fun to watch right now, but sports. it's what we can watch, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to the NFL where we got NFL training camp in full swing. First of all, football's back, and I'm so happy about it. It's been so long. And now getting to see all the tweets, people covering training camp. You know, we found a couple of good stories to talk about, I'd say. So the first one, as a Dolphins fan, Tua's throwing bombs in practice. Bombs.
Is he underthrowing them?
No, in stride.
Oh, in stride.
65-yard touchdown to Tyreek in practice.
Yeah, but it's also practice.
Doesn't matter. It was all about arm strength, and Tua's proved him wrong already.
No pads, no physicality, no pocket collapsing.
Okay, well, let's swing it over to someone who's still not good, even in practice, and that would be Daniel Jones. And here's the headline that I would like to read for the entire podcast, especially after all the hype up and blowing of the Giants team the last episode. Eyewitness reports from camp today tell me QB Daniel Jones accidentally hit a disabled fan with a misplaced pass. #Giants.
Hey, my take on that is that, you know, some of these disabled kids, you know, they didn't grow up around sports. They don't have the best hand-eye coordination. They don't have great hands necessarily. If you're in that situation, you get put on the Giants practice turf and you have a chance to catch a pass from Daniel Jones, you're shaking. You're nervous. You're a deer in headlights. That ball is flying so hard, spinning so tight, and with your bad hands, you just let it slip. Now, if he's a kid, you know, we know how kids react when they drop the ball and they get hit. You know, they start to cry. You know, they might cause a scene. You know, who knows? We weren't at the practice. Who knows how this ball was launched? Who knows if the kid failed to catch it or if it was purposely thrown at him? But Daniel Jones would not do something like that on purpose. That kid just has bad hands. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, that's a hell of a spin zone.
Yeah, and also it's like, even if like he's a fan, so he can't be on the field or anything like that. He's in the stands or in the bleachers that they have probably set up on their training field. But that's definitely like roped off in terms of there's like sideline barriers there, so no fans can get on the field. So that must have been one hell of a miss or an overthrow.
Well, you know, maybe he was throwing it away. The kid should have been alert. You know,
throwing it away in practice, just take the sack. You're not going to get hit.
Here's the spin zone that it should be. Daniel Jones is ass, and that's a fact. The fans are literally put away from the plays just so they don't get hit, and this man still smoked a kid. I mean, that's ridiculous. He is terrible.
Okay.
You got to look at other options.
So if Daniel Jones is ass, the Giants need a quarterback. Garoppolo, maybe? Jimmy Garoppolo. Niners are looking to get rid of him. A lot of teams are coming out as potential suitors. They could probably get him for nothing. They could probably get him for like a 3rd and 4th round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he's ass.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good predecessor in New England with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, so he learned stuff. But I mean,
no, he won in New England. He won in San Francisco when he played with.
He was carried by defenses on both teams.
And well, he didn't even play in New England. He was carried by the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, but he also didn't lose when he played for him.
That's like, I could have been on the New England Patriots and then just sat there and got a ring and be like, oh, I did so much for the team. No, he didn't do one. He came in maybe like once or twice a game and we're up like 30 points to knee the ball so Brady doesn't get hurt.
I don't know. There were rumors that he was a threat to Tom Brady's throne in New England.
And then they dished him.
Yeah.
I don't think Garoppolo's a bad quarterback by any means. I think he is
I mean, he's not bad.
above
He's
average quarterback. I think he's better
Okay.
he's on the
than
cusp of like a top 20 quarterback.
now.
You
The other
saw, hold on, you saw his stats with San Francisco with all these weapons that are there. And now you're going to put him on a Giants roster with a lacking O-line, almost no weapons, and a defense that can get shredded by a Pee-wee football team. I don't know how exactly you're going to put him in a chance to win. I don't think he's going to perform at all. Anyone that goes to the Giants as a quarterback honestly may not perform unless they can scramble. But
Or drop the ball.
you should be looking at the draft already. Is what you should be doing.
Well, I think this is an interesting little tidbit that I have here. The highest betting favorite, or the betting favorites right now in the Garoppolo sweepstakes. Mind you, the Niners are trying to get rid of him before the season starts. So this is something.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, betting favorites right now: Seahawks,
Training camp.
Dolphins, Seahawks, Dolphins, Texans. 1, 2, 3 betting favorites for Garoppolo.
Dolphins wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. They got Tua. They got Tua and they got Teddy. They won't do it.
Probably not. Seattle, I could definitely see them snagging Garoppolo.
Yeah. But I don't know if San Fran would do that deal just because they'd be playing him twice a year.
Yeah, but I feel like they also want to just offload him. He's getting paid a lot of money this season, upwards of $20-25 million.
Yeah, I guess.
So something could happen, and something probably will happen. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Also, NFL news: Deshaun Watson. We're hearing that, or we're hearing his decision tomorrow, most likely. And with Deshaun Watson likely being suspended, the new Cleveland Browns starting quarterback for Week 1, none other than Jacoby Brissett. So,
another New England
big
legend.
money moves being made by Brissett. Shout out Palm Beach County, Florida.
Yes, sir.
The man's gonna
Wire alum, baby.
Man's the new Ryan Tannehill, or not Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Man's a road man.
Yeah, he's played for probably like a half a dozen teams now.
Easily.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was on Cleveland until I read the news today about Deshaun Watson.
I didn't know he was on Cleveland until you said it 5 seconds ago.
Okay.
I just thought it was an interesting little fact. Cleveland, they have pieces, so we'll see. We'll see what Jacoby Brissett.
Maybe if they get suspended, maybe they'll go for Garoppolo.
Yeah, interesting. Lot of money in that quarterback room.
Yeah.
And they'd have to get rid of him quick. It all depends on what happens tomorrow with the Deshaun Watson decision.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Now I have a kind of a quick thing that we can do regarding the NFL. We got the season coming up. So I kind of want to see, and we'll all kind of give our opinions here, mainly offense. But I want to hear like who's going to be your top at the position for the year. And I want to hear receiver, quarterback, running back, and tight end. Those are the 4 I want to hear today. And then we can do more in other episodes as it gets closer. But those are the 4 positions I want to hear. Who's going to be the best of the best this year at each one?
Like in terms of like, say quarterback, like who throws the most touchdowns or the most passing yards, and then
just
like,
who's going to be the, I guess if we wanted to kind of grade it, who would be your fantasy number 1?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. I guess you want to start with quarterback.
Sure.
All right. I think mine is gonna be, if he stays healthy, I'm gonna take Josh Allen this year. As much as I hate to say it, but I think it would have been Mahomes, but he has some lackluster wide receivers now with Tyreek gone. So he's gonna have to prove himself to be able to not always rely on one dominating player, whereas Josh Allen is almost at the same talent level as Mahomes, but has Stephon Diggs, has Dawson Knox, has Gabe Davis. So I think he's gonna have a monster year, as much as I hate to say it. But I mean, if I was doing it based on fantasy, I would take Josh Allen with the first fantasy quarterback. Not necessarily I'd take him as early as they have him, but that's just my thought process.
I guess it doesn't have to be like fantasy, but like who's the MVP of the position?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'd still say Josh Allen.
Beeve, who you got?
I was thinking, and a name, pretty obvious name, came to mind. It's just hard to overlook this guy when he just added another great Pro Bowl receiver, Julio Jones. I think Tom Brady is just going to have a great year. Um, he's just comfortable in that offense. His year 3. I mean, they were rolling last year. They were rolling the season before. They just have the weapons. They have the line. They have all the pieces. I mean, Brady just demand. He knows what he wants, and I think he's gonna another big passing yard year, another big touchdown year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brady, if he stays healthy, which he tends to do, he's very pliable. I think he'll have a nice solid year.
Yeah, I mean, both of those are good picks. I'm gonna kind of go with the young in here. I'm gonna take Justin Herbert. I think this man's gonna have an MVP level season, maybe even the best season in the league this year. But he's got the weapons. He's got the system that's built for him. I mean, the dude he's been getting better and better with each season. So this could be the year that he breaks out and finally cements himself as a potential top 5 QB, maybe even number 1. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with Justin Herbert.
that's a good pick. I hope he does well. I like Herbert. I like
Mhm.
his play style. I want to see him do well.
Yeah, but I think Herbert, low key, he has a lot of pressure on him this season. The Chargers made a lot of offseason moves. They're favorites in a lot of people's minds to make a playoff run, maybe go all the way. Um, Tough division,
Yeah.
tough division. So that's pretty much what it's going to come down to, how he plays his division opponents.
Yeah.
So I guess let's snake it back for next one. We could do running backs. And we'll just
Yeah.
keep snaking.
Yeah.
The obvious one would be Jonathan Taylor, right? I mean, the dude's a beast, but I'm gonna recrown the king. I'm gonna give it to Derrick Henry. Dude was on pace to, lead the league in touches last season before he got hurt. To come back into a still strong offense, run heavy for sure. And I mean, he can move anyone out of his way. He's a beast. He's got the speed. Like, as far as a running back goes, he is the most pure runner of them all. I really do think that. So I think he'll have the year that he's been destined to have, that he was on pace for last year. Maybe he loses a step or two because of his injuries, but I think he's still got it.
Yeah. I was gonna say Henry as well. I think he's just like, in terms of like who you want as a running back, that it's, in my eyes, Derrick Henry. Well, I guess I'll pick someone just to be different from you, Mondo. Pick someone that's a running back, but not really, and that's McCaffrey. I mean, he's basically just like a give the ball to him and see what he can fucking do. Line him up as a receiver. So I want to see him. I know he's been injured the past couple years, but return to when he was balling out in 2018 and 2019 and the number 1 running back in the league. So I'm think if he could stay healthy, he's gonna have a huge year. I'm thinking around 90 to 95 catches, barely over 1,000 yards rushing, and maybe like 800 yards receiving, and just like a ton of touchdowns. So I think he could be very lethal if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree with those 2 picks. I saw a picture of Derrick Henry the other day. He looks like a refrigerator.
Yeah.
I don't know what that man eats. He probably eats his refrigerator. That's probably why he's built like one. You are what you eat. But I don't know. I'm excited to see Saquon. He's healthy. Yeah, around the league. Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, year 2.
I think Najee Harris is gonna have a big
Have
He's
a
year.
gonna have a
breakout
great
year.
year.
So yeah, those are my picks.
All right. And then Beeve, you want to kick off receivers?
Sure. Wide receiver. Who do I think is going to be the best wide receiver this season? Normally, I'd say Tyreek Hill, obvious answer. With a new quarterback, new offense, he's going to get the touches. I don't know if he's going to get nearly as many touchdowns as he would in Kansas City. You got to look at the Chargers, who they got. Mike Williams had like the best fantasy first half of the season you could possibly have last season. So if we're going off of fantasy numbers, you got to go either him or Keenan Allen on the Chargers. Yeah, I can't really think of a receiver that I think is going to absolutely ball out way over anybody else this season.
Todd?
Well, I can, and his name's Justin Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Forgot about Justin Jefferson.
And is so shifty. He is probably the second best route running receiver in the league behind Devontae Adams. And I would pick Adams, but he's just uncertain with Derek Carr. I don't know how that relationship's going to be, but Justin Jefferson is so smooth with it. He's very young, creates great separation. He can move. He had a very good year last year. He's projected to have a great year this year, even with Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball. So I think he's just going to ball out again. Adam Thielen's towards the end of his career, so he's going to be mainly like a slot underneath option. So Jefferson's going to have all the deep routes and just go crazy.
I should say Jamar Chase. I don't know if Mondo, if you were going to pick him, but if not, I'm going with Jamar Chase.
So you could obviously go Cooper Kupp. You could go Devontae Adams. Those are probably the 1 and 2 the entire year. I'm going to take my boy Stephon Diggs. That man's a beast with Josh Allen at QB. That he's just unstoppable. He's going to get the receptions. He's going to get the yards. He's going to get the touchdowns. That's just who he is. It's what he's built for. He's just a beast. But I do have a wide receiver that I think is going to be a sleeper. Not my pick. I picked Diggs, but CeeDee Lamb is going to have an unbelievable season this year. You talk about that receiver roster right there. Amari Cooper's gone. Half their receiving core is still hurt.
They got Gallup still.
He's hurt.
He's hurt. There's two is I think Cedric Wilson right now or someone.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna get the targets this year. Simple as that. CeeDee Lamb may have a top 5 season, but Stephon Diggs is my pick.
Good pick.
Solid. All right, and then tight end. Who's going
You want to
first?
lead it off, Hod?
Sure. Think there's the obvious pick here is Travis Kelce, but I'm not gonna pick Travis Kelce. I'm gonna take to return. He's definitely is a top 5 tight end in the league. I think this year he's gonna ball out. Mark Andrews, with Lamar throwing in the ball, they've had that connection. Now that Hollywood Brown is no longer on the Ravens, they don't really have a true number 1 receiver. Their number 1 right now is Rashad Bateman, I believe. But he's very young and kind of unproved. Mark Andrews has been reliable. I think he's going to ball out this year and be definitely at least the top 3 tight end in the league.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark Andrews. He's going to get like 10, 12 receptions a game. I mean, the Ravens have nobody. They have nobody. They lost Hollywood Brown. They needed to sign a wide receiver yesterday. So we'll see what their wide receiver room is looking like week 1. It's not looking good right now. Mark Andrews is a baller, certified top 3 tight end in the league. Yeah, I think he's poised for a great year.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back to the roots. We're all Florida boys. 1 pick makes sense. He's the only weapon on that roster. Actually, 1 of 2. Mr. Kyle Pitts is going to be the number 1 tight end of this season. Mark my words.
I hope.
/ wide receiver.
That man is an absolute beast. He's going to carry that offense, and he is going to be the number 1 tight end you see in the NFL.
I hope.
So yeah, that was kind of fun. I mean, if we want to, we can go over like who's going to have probably the best defense.
Let's talk about the best kicker.
Best kicker. All right.
I think it's going to be Blankenship.
Rodrigo.
I'm taking Money Mac all day. Man hit a 65-yarder in training, I think today or yesterday, and it looked good from like 80. He's gonna go nuts. And he's a Florida boy, so
That man is a
shout out.
beast. Doesn't miss.
Well, I'm gonna overlook the GOAT. I'm gonna overlook Justin Tucker. Matt Gay. All right, on to the snake draft. So yeah, the snake draft today is a fun one. We have the worst days of the year draft. So it's gonna be 5 rounds. Hodska, you won the last draft, so you get to pick the order. So how do you want it done?
You know what? I think I'm gonna let Beeve have number 1, Mondo have number 2, and I'll draft from number 3 again. It's been working for me, so if it ain't broke,
right.
don't fix it.
All right, a lot of pressure being number 1 here. Worst day of the year. There's a lot of days in the year. Hundreds and hundreds of days. I don't know exactly how many, but I know it's a couple hundred at least. And out of all those days, the worst day, Groundhog's Day. Fuck Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day is the worst holiday of the year. Nobody gives a shit about Groundhog's Day anymore.
I do.
Everybody knows when it is, February 2nd, because February 1st hits around and you're like, oh shit, it's February. Oh wow, tomorrow is, I wonder what this groundhog is gonna see. Nobody really knows if he sees a shadow, what does that even mean? If he doesn't see a shadow, what does that even mean? Who cares? Like, is he a fucking meteorologist? No, he's a groundhog. Punxsutawney Phil, you can suck my dick. Fuck Groundhog Day.
Hell of a first pick, B. I'm gonna go with probably the easiest lock. If you ever watch sports, there's one event that's the biggest of them all. That would be the Super Bowl. But this pick is the day after the Super Bowl when you're all hungover as fuck, absolutely miserable, and don't want to go to work, don't want to go to school. You just want to sit at home and recover. So
Except
the day after the Super Bowl.
Except when your team wins, Mondo, you don't know that feeling. Hod and I, fortunately, we do. That's a great day. The day after your team wins.
Talking shit. His QB's hitting disabled children. Unreal. Focus on the present.
But I'll give it to you. The last 10 years or so, the day after the Super Bowl hasn't really been to my liking. When I was 11, it was great.
That's fair. All right. My first pick, kind of similar to Mondo's last pick of the day after the Super Bowl. Mine is also the day after something. Mine is the day after 4th of July, July 5th. Fuck that day. Everyone gets belligerent on July 4th. It's America's day. Go on the boat. You're at least drinking a beer or 5 or 20, and then you have to go to work the next day. It sucks. You just want to just sit there hungover. So fuck July 5th. And then my second pick is, this is a hot take, but the last day of classes in college, like the last day of the semester, because you're ready with classes. It's usually on like a Wednesday or something, or a Friday, and you're like, yes, I'm done with classes, let's go. And then the next week you have finals, and so it just gets even harder. You want to reward yourself because you just completed a semester of college and it's the last day of classes, but then you say, nope, because I got 4 exams next week that I got to start studying for and shitting myself over. So I hate that day as well.
So reading days or the last day?
Like the last day of like actual class. It's like, oh yeah, like woohoo, you can celebrate. And then you're just like, wait, I have an exam in like 24 hours. Shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was the last day of school. So I remember just comparing it from like high school and middle school. Like the last day of school was like always like the best day of the year. You're signing yearbooks and shit, like going home early, celebrating. And this, it's just like, it's like a normal day at school. It's like a normal Wednesday or normal Friday because it's not done yet. So I hate that day. Thank God I don't have to deal with it ever again.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip it around to the beginning of the school year, not the first day. The first day is always fun. because, you catch up with all your boys, you walk into your new classes, whatever, you're excited, kind of, even though you hate school. The second day is where you're the most miserable, where you realize you now have a whole school year. You got to sit all the way through it. And you don't have that, oh, hey, good to see you. It's been a while. Second day of school year, by far the worst day of the school year.
Yeah, first day of school, all roses. Just going over the syllabus, finding out where you sit, meeting all your teachers. No homework. The second day is when you actually start to learn, and they actually start the curriculum, which is no fun. So yeah, pretty explainable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My second pick in the snake draft for worst days of the year. How about you're in middle school? Yeah, you got PE on the schedule. If it's last period, you're lucky because you get all sweaty and you get to go home. If it's second period, like I had in the fucking 7th grade, then you got to go to third and fourth and fifth period in your sweaty clothes. But on one particular day in PE, it just sucks way more than the rest. You go there, they're telling you that you got to do the pacer test.
Yep. That's the most miserable.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I played sports when I was younger. I could run around. I was all energetic. I could do the pacer test, better than most. But man, in that cold gym with the AC, it's hitting the back of your throat in minute 20. Is 20 minutes? Can you even go that long? I don't even know how hard it is anymore.
Aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. The 20-meter pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up at the start.
Yeah.
The running
beats
speed
get me.
starts
The
slowly
beats
but
suck.
gets faster each minute.
We're gonna
after
wait
you
this
hear
out.
the signal. A single lap should be completed each time you hear this sound. Remember to run
I
in a
hate the
straight
beats. I
line
had to do this
and run as
so
long
many
as
times
possible.
for soccer and
The second time you fail to complete a lap before the sound, your test is over. The test will begin on the word start. On your mark, get ready, start.
And then you got like the
Then you got the
jazz music.
motherfuckers, and then you got the motherfuckers sitting in the bleachers that chose not to dress that day, and they're
Yeah.
sacrificing their grade and being a baby back bitch and not doing the goddamn pacer test when
Dude.
everybody else is sweating their asses off with class in 50 minutes.
I remember we had a kid in an automatic wheelchair that still had to do the pacer test. He
Get
was just
outta
cruising back and
Get
forth.
out of here, bro.
Swear, bro, it was crazy.
Bro, I just hate how they also give you like no time. It's like, all right, like you're lined up on the line, you're like dicking around kind of with your friends because it's level 1. It's like you could basically almost walk it, but then it's like, all right, it'll start on the word start. On your mark, get set, start. And then like you're just like, wait, what? And then you realize you have to go. And then you realize that you're in for like 20, 30 minutes of hell and you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bad day at school.
Yeah. Solid
All
pick.
right. What's your next one, Bees?
So my next pick, worst days of the year, I'm gonna go moving day.
I was gonna pick that one. That just sucks. It's so bad.
Moving day just sucks in general. Doesn't matter if you prepared the day before or you're trying to wing it and do it all one day. It just sucks. You're emptying out your room, putting all your shit away only to take it back out in a few hours. Like, it's just annoying. You're leaving a place where, if you like living there, then it's pretty nostalgic and you're not happy about moving. If you don't like it, it still sucks putting everything in boxes and taking it out and transporting it somewhere and maybe getting somebody to help you or, lifting heavy things by yourself. Moving day, not for me.
Same here. Agreed
Yeah.
on that one.
My next pick, you could be a toddler, you could be a teenager, you could be a fully functioning adult. Shit, you can even be an elder. You're gonna hate this day. That's the day after daylight savings. So when you hit those clocks forward and you lose that hour, You are the most miserable person on earth, and everyone feels your pain.
I just don't get the point of it. It's like so stupid where it's like, all right, for all of a sudden in a random day in March, we lose an hour of sleep and it starts getting like brighter out later in the night. But then the worst one I think is the fall one, because it's like, okay, we at least gain an hour of sleep. So that's nice. But then you wake up and then like on a month, it's like dark at like 4:30 and you're just like, bro, what?
Yeah, I really don't fuck with it getting dark anytime before 6. Really, I think that's cruel and unnecessary. But yeah, daylight savings. I mean, it would be like you think we would notice it if it was just eliminated, because it really is pointless. I believe it's only for like the farmers or some shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I guess moving on into my next pick. My pick is kind of just a metaphorical fuck you day. Because the week before you had such great vibes, not caring a shit in the world what is going on, but you have one goal, and that's to have fun and get fucked up. And this day just makes all that week that you just had fun a living hell, because you're hungover and starting classes again. It's the Monday after spring break. That day sucks.
Yep.
You just had a week of with your friends. You're somewhere. Usually people go tropical or people go in the mountains, but either way, it's just only good vibes. You're not caring about anything in the world except just positive vibes. And then you come back to your college town, you're getting ready, and then you see like, oh shit, I have 4 assignments due Monday night. And then you want to kill yourself.
Not even Monday. Like some teachers and professors have the audacity to have homework due like that Sunday night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid. So that for sure is one of my days. And then my second pick is probably a holiday or a day that you would have never known existed if I haven't told you right now. We're gonna shout out November 19th. And you might be asking yourself, what day is November 19th? It is National Have a Bad Day Day. Yeah. Why does that exist? Like, why does it like, oh yeah, we have a national holiday for everyone to have a bad day? Like, huh?
Maybe that could be like go break a leg, like have a bad day. You know, maybe it could like mean something positive, like have a little undertone like
Yeah,
that.
but if like, okay, like, but in theater, it's like, okay, someone tells you to break a leg and you're like, oh, thanks. If you like, if I came up to you like before like work and I told you, yo, Jack, I hope you have a terrible day today, what would be your response? It'd be like a fuck you, or I hope you have one too. It's like just
I'd be like, is it November 19th yet?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's not. So it's all good days. So I guess every other day is have a national have a good day, but then except this one day. So November 19th, National Have a Bad Day Day. It can go fuck itself. It can have a bad day.
It should just be called National Have a Bad Day.
Or
Makes
just
sense.
National Bad Day. Or just not exist, because every day should be a good day.
True that.
That's why it's in my list. It sucks. I never knew it existed until I was researching it, but now I have an excuse on why I hate November 19th. So it's an out there pick, but I like it.
I respect it.
I like it.
Now, if you're a sports fan, you've had this day. Doesn't matter what team you like, what sport you like. You've had this day. And that's the day your team gets eliminated, either from the playoffs or from playoff contention. The day your team's eliminated is one of the worst days of your year, and that's a fact.
Yeah, you got all the people shit talking you because their team's still in it, and then they come in and you're like, oh, what happened? And just rub salt in the wounds, and you just want to like crumple up into a little ball and die.
Yeah, especially if it's in like dramatic fashion. Or
plus it's like
late in the season, then you don't even want to watch the rest of the season.
And people take it so seriously. It's like, as a fan, it's like completely out of your control on whether like you control like the game's fate or not. There's like nothing that one fan can do about it. but the people like your friends will shit talk you thinking that you're the star quarterback or the star point guard for that team. And you're just like, it's not my fault. I would have loved to see them move on, but like, there's nothing that you can do about it.
That is true.
Steve?
So my fourth selection, worst days of the year. Let's see what I got here. I'm gonna go. So you're sitting on Sunday night. It's about 8. Then it's getting 8:15, and it's getting to about 8:30. You hear the Sunday Night Football anthem. Is it still Carrie Underwood? Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Hey,
Yeah.
Faith Hill's the GOAT.
Great,
No
great
cap.
sounds. You want to tune in so bad. It's a matchup you've been waiting for all week. Then you realize, oh fuck, I have homework due tomorrow. You're cramming in this homework, trying to cram in football, cram in homework. 11:59 is approaching. You could have a couple exams tomorrow you got to study for. You're just not in the right headspace to enjoy Sunday Night Football. It's Sunday night. You're stressing about the week ahead. It's just, when I look back at my childhood, some of the most anxious times of my life have been on Sunday night, grinding my homework through Sunday Night Football.
I mean, Beef, there was always a surefire way I did this. And that was whichever time the Dolphins played on Sunday, because usually they weren't Sunday night. They're either the 4 o'clock or the 1 o'clock game. So whichever time they weren't doing or they weren't playing, I would be doing my homework during that time and glancing up. And then when they were playing, that's when my homework would be done or I haven't started it yet. And that way I could watch the game and enjoy it.
Okay, well,
That's
yeah,
just-
that's if you don't procrastinate.
Yeah, well, most people could figure out how to schedule around football.
Well, my childhood self obviously could not.
Understandable.
Those are
It
some of the worst
happens.
days for me.
Who's up? Is it Beef's pick?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
me again.
final pick for Beef.
Final pick. In the worst day snake draft. I am Jewish. I love my Christian brethren, but Christmas Day, I love everything leading up to Christmas. The music, the trees, the festivities. It's great. I love it. Christmas Day comes, and you wake up and you're like, what the fuck? Everything is closed. This holiday is not for me. Like, there's nothing to do. I basically just have to stay inside. I don't wake up to a Christmas tree. There's no presents under the tree. My mom's not baking cookies and shit. We don't have ham for dinner. We got Chinese food and movie theaters. That's pretty much it.
That's how they did it in what's A Christmas Story. They
Yeah.
got Chinese food. You're celebrating.
We're celebrating. Chinese food, their busiest day of the year is on Christmas Day. No doubt. No doubt.
Because of the movie.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up this powerhouse of a team for me with the day that every adult hates and most of our age hates now too. Tax day.
Yeah.
Everyone hates tax day. It's a lock of the century. Has to be on the board somewhere. Doesn't matter whose team. It's going to boost the roster. Everyone hates taxes. No one wants to do them. Hell, I know people who had done tax fraud. It's just the way it is. But taxes just suck ass, and no one wants to do it.
You want to say their names right now?
No, I will not.
I can neither confirm or deny being associated with that person.
So I don't want to put him on blast, but taxes
If you're
suck.
thinking who I'm thinking, that man better keep his shit to himself.
Yeah.
Mhm. They're gonna come for me if I expose them.
Yeah. Snitches get stitches.
All right, Hod, round out this draft for us.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pick another obscure holiday just because I think it's funny. And I know this might not be like some of the best picks, most strategical picks, but I was just looking up random holidays and like these days, like some of them were just like whether they were good or bad, like so funny. Like this probably would be like one of like just an honorable mention for being one of the best days of the year. August 8th. Do any of you know what August 8th is?
That's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's next week. Yeah, it's next Monday. So this is for all you people listening. Next Monday, get ready to. Your mind is going to be blown right now because August 8th, next Monday, 1 week from when you're this
1 week from
airs. So
tomorrow.
yeah, exactly.
Today.
It is National Sneak Some Zucchini into Your Neighbor's Porch Day.
Can you repeat that again for the audience?
It is August 8th is National Sneak Some Zucchini into Your Neighbor's Porch Day. Like, how is that? How have we not known about that? That sounds like such a great day. Like everyone just trying to like manhunt style, like just throw zucchini onto your neighbor's porch.
No,
like
How is that gonna fit on the graphic?
Well, yeah, exactly. But
How
that's
is this going on the graphic, bro?
well, it's not on one of the worst days. That's one of the best days. That's what I'm saying. It's like some of the holidays I found are just so obscure, and that's one of them. That's great. But this one, which is going to be my pick, is not that great because I did not know this day existed as well. But it seems like a pretty great day from someone that is from the Northeast and not from this state. But July 3rd starts a week. So whatever July 3rd, that's my day. It is Be Nice to People from New Jersey week. No, fuck New Jersey.
There's no need for that.
There is no need for that. Like, I'm not dedicating a week to being nice to people from New Jersey. Is there a week to being nice from people from Connecticut or nice from people from Florida? No. Why do we have to be nice to people from New Jersey for a week?
Okay,
Is there a designated
look.
day for New Jersey people to be nice to us? Because I feel like that should be that should happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel
Jersey-
like most people from New Jersey don't even know that exists, but now that like they're like, and it's gonna like some fun fact, like some random kid from school is gonna be like, oh, it's be nice to national people or New Jersey people this week, and it's just like now you're in college and you have friends from New Jersey, and like they'll find out about it, and it's just like, fuck you.
It's National Be Nice Day. You gotta be nice to me.
No, it's not. It's like it kicks off a week too. Like if it was a day, it's like okay, like who really cares? But it kicks off. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, and what also pisses me off is that 2 of the worst days of the year are sandwiched around
In between July 4th. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
July 4th is one of my favorite holidays. That's why I picked July 3rd and July 5th as 2 of my days on this list because it just those two just suck compared to July 4th.
Yeah,
We
I
need to get this
mean,
news to the president.
Yeah.
Jersey has provided us with only a couple good things. The
What?
Sopranos,
Okay. Yeah. that's
Jersey
it.
Shore.
Mike
Okay.
Trout.
Okay, yeah, Mike Trout, Matt Reich, and Ryan Tweedale. Those are the 5 things that Jersey has given us.
Yeah. And the
Fetty Wap.
So just mainly the Sopranos and
No.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Oh, that's cold-blooded. All right, to reiterate the draft, and then we'll do some honorable mentions. Beeve had Groundhog's Day, Pacer Test Day, Moving Day, Sunday night, and Christmas Day.
Oh no, Sunday night football with homework due.
Bro, I have to put this on
I
a
don't hate
graphic.
Sunday night. It's Sunday night right now. I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I
'cause
have to
it's
put this
no
all on a
homework.
graphic. So we're gonna have to sit down and figure this out.
SNF for Sunday night football.
I had the day after the Super Bowl, second day of school, day after daylight savings, day your team gets eliminated from playoffs or contention, and tax day. Pod, you had July 5th, last day of semester in college, Monday after spring break, have a bad day, and be nice to people from New Jersey week.
Yeah. But the day that's the starting day of being nice to people from New Jersey week. Yeah. I think my
Okay.
list is definitely one of the most obscure ones you'll find, but I like it. I
I think the zucchini one is a little bit more obscure.
The
That
zucchini
was
one would
crazy.
be like top tier for like best days.
I can't believe that's next week. I gotta go to the store and get some zucchini.
Bro, that's content we gotta make. We gotta go like August 7th to the store and just like record ourselves from our phone and just like sneaking zucchini onto your neighbors' porches.
No, we don't have to do it. We should just have our social media guy Gary do it.
That
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
comedy.
that would be funny.
That would be
Yeah,
comedy.
that's
He has to
content.
go, he has to
make
go to at
happen.
least 2 or 3 neighbors' houses and sneak zucchini on their porch.
That's something that we need to make happen.
Ding dong
Okay.
ditch with zucchini.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, oh, like you're not even mad. It's like, oh, that little fucker, like, ding dong ditch me. But he loves zucchini. So like, if it's like your lady's like, if you have like an old like couple and it's like, oh, like it's fresh zucchini. It's like, oh, I can use this to cook or something. So they'll be happy. So it's a great holiday all around. You get to have fun, and then you don't get the surprise of like, oh, why is there like ding dong ditch, or like, why is this zucchini here? It's like, oh,
I
great.
mean, I think knowing Gary and his idiocracy, he's
He
gonna
would
get
get
like,
caught.
he's
He
gonna
would
get
get
like
caught.
no, he's not gonna get, he might get caught, but he's gonna get like some fucking cucumbers or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, that
I
would
could
piss
see
me off.
Gary
no.
getting the shit beat out of him with zucchinis and cucumbers doing this. All right, let's go to some honorable mentions. I'll list 2 right off the bat. Any day with no sports. I
Yeah.
mean, you're so bored. Quarantine nearly killed me. That I couldn't handle that. And then if you get no bitches, Valentine's Day sucks for you. That's a fact.
Yeah. Except when you were in elementary school, then it was hype because everybody's giving gifts out
Got the
and
candy in class. Yeah, that was hype.
candy in class.
All right, you guys got
My
any?
honorable mention. I was gonna say when there's no sports. More specific one the day before, and now it's the 2 days after the All-Star game in baseball, when all 4 major sports, baseball, football, hockey, basketball, there's no games on. The only 3 days in the entire year, half the year, the only sport pretty much is baseball, but the only 3 days with 0 sports, day before and the 2 days after the MLB All-Star game, those days suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'll throw some out there. Some of my honorable mentions. Let me find it. January 31st is 3 national holidays, but I'm only
Isn't
gonna
that
do
Martin
it
Luther
for
King Day?
January 31st is not Martin Luther King Day. Beef, nice try.
I think that's the 28th. Right?
That is not that week. That is not that day
29th?
either. I'm pretty sure it's the
The
21st.
21st.
Yeah. But January 31st is Hell is Freezing Over Day and National Scotch Tape Day. So that day was an honorable mention for me. What kind of saved it from not being on my list is also National Gorilla Suit Day. So that kind of like levels it out a little bit, but still is worthy of an honorable mention.
Wait, so what's the worst day? The hell freezing over?
I mean, it's just like yeah, like hell is freezing over. Like that's just kind of bad vibes. Like Scotch tape. It's just like a day that like doesn't need to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
Maybe that was the day that Scotch tape was founded, and if that's true, then that is a great day.
Yeah. Then there's also, in my opinion, leap year, February 29th. It just doesn't need to be there. Like, who
It
cares?
doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. So like we could just like it's basically treated like any other day, except it's like usually like, oh, I have to work one more day this year. So that sucks.
Or some random guy out there is like, oh, I actually turned 6 today.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And
shut up.
Yeah. Like no one
I don't care.
no one cares. Exactly. So that's definitely an honorable mention. And then just I'll do one more. August 17th, National I Love My Feet Day. That just doesn't need to be there. So yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
I like my feet. I don't love my feet.
Yeah. And it's just kind of weird. Like, what do you do on that day to celebrate your feet? Like,
Put on some
I know what one person in particular, but for the rest of the population, it's just kind of weird. So
There's probably a good 30 listeners that know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part.
He's probably listening
who
to
I'm
it. He
thinking.
knows who he's talking about.
You're thinking
He
who I'm
probably
thinking.
is.
He
Yeah,
better
we're
keep
all
that
thinking
shit
the
to
same
himself.
person.
Yeah.
Keep that shit to himself.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? We won't say his name because he's the boy, and he might be on a podcast episode. So you never know where this could lead. But yeah, fuck that day, August 17th. That's probably gonna be like that's coming up for
That's
him.
coming up too. Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna go ape
August
shit
is a
that
bad
day.
month.
Yeah.
Teeny Day, second day of school. National Love Your Feet Day.
Yeah.
What was August 2nd again? Or no, there's nothing August 2nd.
No.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
it.
Well, I guess that wraps up the snake draft and also the episode. So thanks for listening. If you enjoy it, feel free to like, comment, tell us some draft ideas. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring you on. Follow our Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Barroom Boys. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
See you, everyone.
So long.